So, hey guys, this is another day three of learning Go programming, and I guess let's skip the introduction part. Or you guys are interested in knowing me, so in the next live session, I can just describe about myself a little. But okay, let's skip this thing, and I guess let's in the last day there was a little discontinuity in my stream because I was getting a little sickness. So I just in that case I to get recover from it, I just give it a skip. So no problem. Let's go to further development path. So yeah, I came across a little bit of resources for to be on track in learning Go programming. So yeah, so we will be following this roadmap.s at GoLang to go with the flow, like how we will be learning Go. So here's many things, like here we can include some of the introductions, what is Go programming, then why it is, how to set up, like everything. Great. I think these things are very useful because right now in the last 2 days we were not on the right track because we were just doing randomly document thing, which is beneficial, but when you have no idea where to start and how to start about this, so it's better to get a guide a little bit, like something like this. Wait, let me see if my stream is live. Yeah, I can see my stream is going super fine. Let me check quality also, quality of this. Super fine, yeah. Quality is also good. I can see a good things. Great. Okay, so let's continue with the flow. Let's go to the introduction part. Like this is a statically typed compiled programming language developed by Google. So what is compiled programming language is just uh, there are two types of programming languages, like interpreted and second is the compiled. So in interpreted languages are that are just interpreted line by line. Yep. And in compile languages are just okay. I'm not that clear, but let's do a little bit of R&D here. What is the difference between compile and interpreted languages? So I guess the compile languages are languages that compile the whole code at once, and interpreted languages are those which interpret code line by line. So yeah, this is the minor difference. Let's talk about the major difference. All right, and okay, yeah. These are converted into machine code before execution. That's great. Translated entirely, right? This is what I meant by whole into a machine code by compiler before running, and these are executed line by line, right, by an interpreter. Yeah. Before like compile like C++, Go, and Rust, Python, JS, Ruby, PHP. So this was the main thing. Then we have design for simplicity, concurrency. What is there's always confusion between concurrency and parallelism. So let's talk about both. Let's let ChatGPT do Perplexity do the R&D work, then we will discuss. See, so let's go to R&D. Let's create clear what is suggested. Yep, I guess it's give me right. So yeah. So the main, so suppose this is your parallelism. Suppose I have a task A and I have task B, right? So these are my two tasks. Task A, this will be done, and task B, that will be done parallelly. So yeah, so this is not the parallel lines I know, but by parallelism, I mean these tasks will be executing at the same time at same level. Like, but in case of concurrency, what happens here is, okay, best semester, yeah. Suppose I have a task A and I have task B, Then I have task C. So as soon as my yeah, but okay, let me draw this first. So suppose I have a task C, right? So task C, let me give it a name also. Task A is my task C, task B. Oh no, task B. Then I have task C, right? So in parallelism, suppose I want to work on these two tasks. So for these two tasks, I need my like my resources to be allocated and to be free. Like they need to be like, suppose this process need 2 GB of RAM, that's too high. Suppose 2 GB of RAM, and this process this task need 2 GB RAM. So for that, I totally need 4 GB RAM. Like this is the case, right? And these need to be freed. Like little bit of these resources are occupied by in another process, then there will be a situation called deadlock, that it's not necessary to understand that point here. But in case of concurrency, right? So in case of concurrency, suppose I have a resource is equals to 4 GB, right? Now I have this task that takes 2 GB of RAM, and this task takes 3 GB, maybe, but this also takes 2 GB of RAM, right? But this is a small task. So in the time this is executing, and this is also executing, once this task is completed, my third task will complete. But in parallelism, my both tasks will run at the same time, execute at the same time, and end at the same time. Maybe I'm just from means jumbled up in the word scenario, but yeah. Let's see here, involves managing multiple tasks at overlapping time periods. See, here also we have single time. We have this single, oh, not this. We have this single timestamp, time lap or timestamp, you can say, and another for this, right? So these are in one time lap, not necessarily executing them at the exact same moment, right? I can also do parallel. I can do task one by one, achieved by this is thing called context switching, often on a single process. Like parallel actually simultaneously executing multiple tasks made made possible by having more than one process. So this way it works. Okay, let's do a little bit more example. Okay, so this was concurrency is mainly a program. Right, and both concepts may coexist. A program can be both concurrent, dealing with many tasks, and parallel, executing several tasks at once, right? If hardware supports that. So this was the scenario, like free garbage collection. Yeah, what is garbage collection? Is that's a beautiful topic, not beautiful topic, beautiful concept. That was, I guess, introduced by Java, or either by no, C++ is bad at garbage collection. So what happens here is, whenever I create a variable, suppose I create a variable and assign it a value of 32. I assigned it a value of 32. I placed this inside this variable. Now, in case I used this value here, like, and in case I use this value here, so Java Go compiler will ignore this variable because it's being used somewhere. Now, if this variable is sorry. Now, if this variable is not being used here, then Java compiler will automatically remove this will remove this or clear this space. This thing is called garbage collection. Right? Then we have this strong typing, efficient compilation because it's fast, quick, and built-in concurrency, like concurrency with Go routines and channels. That it's Go routines and channels are major, that high level concepts. then excellent for backend services, CLL tools, and distributed systems. Let's go. We have already, I guess, did the R&D work. Then we have why use. So Go offers exceptional performance and single binary deployment. See, by a single binary deployment, we mean so whenever we create an whenever we create a whenever we write a code in Go, after compilation, it gives us a binary code. Our our computer system that reads that particular binary code only. Built-in concurrency, fast compilation, I guess. Okay, already history of no need to understand setting up the environment. Like we don't need actually use, if you're using Mac, just go to homebrew and install that. Hello world and Go related Go commands like primarily tool for managing Go source codes or unified interface for compiling tests and this that. Let's ignore this and let's this is also a topic.md file that I just created to enhance to create projects. So yeah, let's go to our code and let's create another folder. Yeah, let's create, let's do mkdir day3, change activity 3 and do go mod init github.com/go mod. Let's remove this. Let's go and do touch main.go. Now let's go here and let's do package.main. Then we have to create a func main. Func main, this func will empty dot print. Now this will print Namaste Dunya, and I guess we all know why it's Namaste Dunya, because it's a hello world in Hindi. So why I'm getting this? Oh, it's not supposed to be. It's print ln or f. It's to you. Now let's go run go and spread Namaste Dunya. That's beautiful. Let's go to after this. We are here, variables and const. Variables are just stored changeable values declared with this and short. This is Walrus operator, we all know. So how to declare a variable, like in I guess in the second lecture, on the second day we discussed how to create variables. Let's do a little more. So const, suppose I create const with string 1 2 3. Now if I try to print that, I just need to do this. I need to do a little bit of this, and then most importantly, I guess first string we use C, right? If I remember that path is right. Okay, let's see. It's not being used, and yeah, to see what things are used, we need to go to go.dev.pkg pkg.dev. Yeah, let's go to use fmt. Let's use this, and here we will be having printing. Then yeah, here to print a string. What to use when to print a string? B, C the character return corresponding Unicode print. No, C is not being used here. S, okay, I'm not getting how to print B slice string. Yep, string S. I don't know, maybe S we should use. Oh, we should use S only. Yeah, great, that's lovely. Okay, so and now after declaring a variable with this const variable, we won't be declaring any variable using const keyword. We won't be able to just redeclare that. So if I try to update the value of this, it will give me an error. Beautiful error. It says cannot assign to neither addressable nor a map index expression. Excellent. Let's comment this out. Comment this out by commenting. I mean, whenever you put a double slash before any line, there when our compiler tries to compile that particular line of code, it ignores that line. Great. Now if I try to do again go run main.go, see, now this was the const. Let's create another variable using var, and here let's just use this 123. Now if I try to run main.go, I get the same 123. And now if I want to get rid of this person sign, I just simply need to add this. Now if I redeclare this, I get this 124, right? That's now const stores unchangeable values declared with const. Variables can be explicitly typed or use instance interference. Constants must be compile time determinable. Both support the okay. How to use okay, that's it's a good thing. Let's do a little bit. How to use variables and constants in Go. Understanding variable, bro, I know about this. Okay, when we want to use variable, then it's better to use walrus operator. What I can conclude here. Oh, that's beautiful thing. But and now if I try to do 124, will this give me an error? Nope, nope, it doesn't. Now to convert this bunch of code into uh in your what's that in your binary code. So for that we just need to run build. Wait, I guess I can forward the build command. It's something build within our main flag. Yep, these flags. Yep, this was go build, not run. Go build, then output, then means this flag, then we have this main. See how it goes. Yeah, beautiful. Now if I do go run main. Oh, it didn't work. Now if I do main, it didn't work. So how to execute this? Can we execute this? I don't know, but yep, I have done how to execute this. How to execute this. Execute build a file. Let's see. Navigate to directory. Oh yeah, I got /main. See, we got the value. So we just need to remember the command that's flag. Great. Now let's go to the next topic, that's var versus walrus operator. See, this syntax is a shorthand for declaring and initializing a variable. It infers the type from value and can be used inside a function. Yeah, one more thing is this way of declaring a variable tells the compiler that the type of this particular variable is determined on the type of compilation, right? But in case of suppose I declare this using var, I do this var, right? So same thing happened, but if I make this as a string, now before the type of compilation, I know that what's the type of this a, and that's a string. Go assigns a default 0 value based on the variable type. If that's true, suppose now if I declare any value, right? Now I do not declare any value. Now if I try to run, it will declare go run main.go. It will make this as space empty space, right? That's it. Let's go 0 value. What is 0 value? So oh, empty string, right? That's fine. It's default values for uninitialized variables, 0 for numbers, false for booleans, and empty strings for strings, and nil for pointers, slices, and maps. Ensures predictable initial state and reduces initialization errors. Fundamental for a reliable Go. Okay, let's now it's stuck with a beautiful thing. Now if I try this, if I don't know what's the syntax of if a is something, can I do fmt.print? but inside it. I don't know it will work. I mean, why I'm getting this error because non-boolean condition. Non-boolean condition. Okay, we can do this is not equal to nil. Not equals to empty string. Yep, that's how to. That's equal. If I do that's equals to nil, then we will be inside a. We will get inside a. That's beautiful. Now let's go a little bit of a constant iota. Oh, there's something called iota also constant declared with const represents unchangeable compile time values. Iota creates successive integer constant starting from zero, resetting per constant blocks. Okay, useful for enumerators, bit flags. Okay, let's go about to R&D about iota. So iota identifier is used in const declaration to simplify definition of increment. Okay, let's leave this. Let's ask ChatGPT. What is iota? So in iota is a pre-declare. Okay. Where we are here. Identifier that simplifies the creation of enumerated constant. It is used with a const declaration. Okay, suppose I created this. Okay, so now the value of this will be iota. Great. Oh, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Suppose I clear multiple const variables and initially I define the value to a 1 and it will change the value or change the value of others to 0 to 1 to 3 in the sequence. Scope and shadows. Like scope determines the variable accessible from universe to block level. Oh, great. Like in the previous lecture, not lecture, in the previous live stream also we discussed about what is scope, and that's it. Occurs when inner scope variables hide. Okay, that's the case, and in that case I guess it's a better thing. Go has package function, block scope, understanding, prevent bugs. Okay, it has 3 types of package function and block scopes. Then after we have this data types. What are the data types of rich set of built-in types: integer, unsigned integers, floats, complex number, booleans, strings, runs. I don't know what is runs is. Statistically typed, determined. Okay, great. Let's go to basics. These are the basic. Okay, we don't need that. We can also simply jump to data types. Then we have integers, signed and unsigned. Assigned by signed, it's only plus and minus. And unsigned means we don't know the type, but like it's a minus, positive value or negative value. That's all. That's it. Unsigned end of 8 and then non-negative but larger for a positive value. That's a floating points for 2 types: floating 32 single precision and floating double precision. Means that point the value of after decimal place. That's now we have complex numbers, built-in support for complex 64 types, create using complex functions for literals like, okay, provides real slash mag slash abs is like absolute positive functions. Now suppose I have 2 variables. I also don't know, I'm just testing something. Now suppose I have 2 variables like a is equals to 3 and b minus 3. Now if I do this abs a comma b, I don't know if I will get it or not. If I try to run, I might get an undefined abs. So what's abs method? Let's go to that. Let's leave that abs method. Okay, math.abs. So it's math. So let's import this. Math, now here also math.abs. That's it. Okay, I guess there's something in error. Oh, it's caps. why I'm getting this b? Too many arguments in the call. Okay. Okay. Let's try some more methods. I don't know. Dot. Okay, I thought that Go does not have a built-in ABS function for integers, but can easily be floating point. Okay, it converts that word. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. This was the case. Not dot ABS. Now if I do A plus B, now it is supposed to return me. Let's ask for quick fix. Let's see how it gives us. Okay, so it stored another value in this, and then we have float 64. Then let's print the value. Now if I do this, give me an. Oh, why is that? It's supposed to give me, I guess. Okay, as a float end. Okay. So first it converted in that particular into float 64, then it returned me the value. So this was the case, I guess. Let's go to Boolean. Like Boolean type represents true, false, or values with different zeros values. Okay, essentials for conditional logics, control flow and binary states. Okay, results from comparison, sorry, and logical operators. Okay, great. I guess this definition was sufficient to explain us what the types of booleans are. Then we have runes. I don't know. Okay, represent Unicode points as int 32. Right. Enable proper handling of international characters and emojis. Use single quotes like okay. These are being used for some special characters that do not exist on your keyboard, right? Then we have string enclosed and backticks. Okay, and interpret character literally without escape sequences. Preserve formatting, including new lines, ideal for regex. Regex is your regular expression, file paths, SQL queries, JSON templates, and multi-line text, while escaping would be extensive. Okay, I didn't got anything. Can you explain me this? Okay, we got queries used. How many queries do I have? Daily limit 30,000. Okay, 30,000 tokens, sorry. Now we are on this. Let's skip this. Okay, so it says interpreters. Okay, so suppose I get it. Okay, let's do this. Comment this also. Let's remove this most importantly. Now let's do this info.print. I try to print ln and provide this value hello, and in the next line I do world. This is supposed to give me an error. Right now, if I try to wrap this up inside the literal, I don't know. I'm not, I don't know. In the recent case, in Mac, we are unable to get that backtick thing. But we get hello. That's beautiful. Like this thing. Now we have this interpreted string literals like enclose and double brackets. That's done. This thing is also done. So then we have type conversion. That's the most beautiful topic. Like, so convert types between different types using type syntax. Go requires explicit conversion between two related types. By the way, there are two types of conversion. One is explicit, second one is implicit. Explicit means you have to manually do that conversion, and implicit means the compiler will automatically do the conversion. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I just reversed the meaning of types of data type conversions. Okay, so here are string conversion, explicit conversion, string conversion, by generated conversion. I guess what is the difference between explicit and implicit. Okay, so implicit is the operation or behavior is not directly specified in the code. Implicit, yep. But as yep, this thing is done by the compiler, and explicit are done manually. So as I said, let's do and perform an example. We have this, now it will convert. So yeah, I guess this gave us already an example how to use them. Like suppose I declare I declared a variable using this, then I did this, it will convert that into float 64, then Unicode. So this was the case. So that was for today, guys. We ready. Let's do marking here. Like we are done this, we have done this, we have done this also. So we will be on track what we have done so far. Next topic is cannot mark this as done also. This is also done. This is also done. This is also done. So I guess I can do this also by my own. So okay guys, this was all for today. In the next live session, we will be doing a lot by commands and docs, and we will try to cover this all. So okay guys, thanks for watching.